Hey everybody, this is Mike with Birdman Gaming, and I hope everybody had a great holiday for Christmas, and I hope everybody had a great New Year's. It is now 2022, and this month's series of videos will be going through what I'm building for Commander, what I have already built, what I'm tweaking, everything. So I've got one partial deck, which is what we're going to cover today, and four other complete decks that as things come out, of course, you always modify and tweak your decks. So that's what we're going to go through. By the end of this video series, it will be time for Kamigawa Neon Dynasty pre-release, which is February the 11th. Following that will be, of course, the release, and we will have from then through the rest of the month of February, we will have Neon Dynasty openings here on the channel. In March, I will be going through, for the most part, unless something comes in or comes up, I will be going over what I've been purchasing for comic books from my local comic shop. And it'll be random big books and stuff I've gotten from collections over the last 2 years. And and quite possibly there might be a trade that I've been working on with another fellow YouTuber. And we are working on possibly doing our trade exchange as like a mystery box. I will open that here on the channel for everybody to see. In April, right now my order is saying that it won't be here till April the 11th. So I am preparing for videos before then. However, I have a box of Infinity and a collector's pack currently going to be coming in the first week and a half of April. We are going to try and do a month of Infinity. Beyond that, I have no idea what's coming up in May, June, or July yet. But that's our current recording schedule so that you guys will have stuff to watch. And in late July, early August, our video series will have a little bit to do with Gen Con. Genevieve will make her return for a week or two so that you guys can see her. I don't know if I'm going to use the smaller version that I had in the last few videos or unpackage and use the larger Gen Con exclusive Genevieve from 2021. Let me know down in the comments below what you would rather see, whether it's the smaller plush or the larger plush. If some stuff comes through that I'm working on currently, we might have some surprises in February or March. I'm not going to say from who or where yet, because I don't have confirmation on stuff yet. If it comes through, I will be hosting a event at a local game store here in town where I will be giving away some stuff in person, and then I will also, from that same package, will have some stuff, one or two items that I will give away here on the channel. I will announce that as I get more confirmation and everything, of course. And like I said, that will be February, March area is what I'm figuring. I'm not going to be able to, of course, do normal giveaways because financial constrictions and whatnot. Money's tight, you know. So this is stuff I've built through trades and everything over the last couple of years. Anyway, let's get into today's video. Today we are going over what I'm currently working on picking up and building. I've got a line on a complete version of this deck that I'm going to wind up tweaking. And that's going to be from actually one of my friends that will probably be subscribed to this channel in the next month or so. So if you see this, Jay, thank you. And I will work on getting our deal covered as fast as possible. Anyway, let's get into what I already have that I'm going to be working with, tweaking and everything. And that is, we are working on rebuilding my very first commander deck, Corridor Ghost Chieftain. This guy is absolutely insane. This is an edge foil from Commander Legends. And his ability, he's a 8-drop, 3/4 legendary Centaur Spirit. His abilities let you, once per turn, on your turn, cast a creature card from your graveyard. His other ability reduces his cost, which also includes his commander tax, by 1 for every creature in your graveyard. Really, really good guy. I've always loved the reanimator style of commander deck, or deck in general. I've always loved reanimator. So that is that's our commander that we're working on building. Right, here's a stack of stuff that I have already got, that I'm going to be testing with and whatnot, and I'll explain some of the cards as I go. Necrotic Ooze, 4/3 for 4, allows you to he gets the activated abilities of every creature in your graveyard. Actually, in all graveyards. Let me rephrase that. So he gets dumb quick, whether it's tap, add mana, or tap, this guy gets indestructible or regeneration, or sacrifice a creature to him to give a +1/+1 counter, and then remove counters to negate creatures. He is really, really strong. This is one of our newer cards. This is from Crimson Vow. It is one of our tutors. 1 green allows you to search for a basic land and put it in your hand. Reveal it and put it in your hand. If you pay its cleave cost, which is 1 green, 2 black, and 1, you search your library for any card and just put it in your hand. You do not look at the bracketed words for if you play the cleave cost. Really solid early game ramp, or actually mana fixing or late game tutor. I actually really like that guy. Circle of Dreams Druid, triple green for a 2/1. He's basically a Gaia's Cradle. Tap to add a green for every creature you control. Solid mana ramp when you need it. Revelark Flyer. When he enters the battlefield, you return up to 2 creature cards with power 2 or less from your yard. That'll return your Circle of Dreams Druid, or any number of other combo pieces that you're playing. He's also got Evoke. Evoke is a alternate casting cost that you play him and you sacrifice him, and as he enters, he brings in something, then you sacrifice him. If that thing that you return happens to be a Karmic Guide's trigger goes on the stack after you sacrifice him, which means you return the Revelark and bring back other things. It's a good combo. Priest of Fell Rites. This is from Modern Horizons 2. Tap, pay 3 life, sacrifice it. Return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. activate only as a sorcery. And then he has Unearth, pay 3, a white and a black. He returns, he has haste at the beginning of the next end step, or if he would leave the battlefield, exile him. He's another good target for Revelark, though. You tap, pay 3 life, tap, sacrifice him, bring him back when you bring back in Revelark. Then you have Avacyn. Avacyn, Angel of Hope. Flying Vigilance, 8-drop that says everything you control has indestructible. Easy, quick, very few answers for, especially in Reanimator. This is another one of our newer cards. I've never actually played with this guy, so I'm not used to him yet. Whenever you cast him, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal X number of creature cards. Put all creature cards revealed this way into your yard, then put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. He gets power and toughness equal to the number of creature cards in your graveyard. So he's just a real good pay 2. He becomes a 2/2, but you get 2 creatures in your graveyard, which feeds your commander. Seedborn Muse. Quick, easy, to the point. 5-drop, 2/4. You untap on everybody's untap step. Real good card. Greater Good. Enchantment. Very self-explanatory. You're trying to feed your graveyard with your creatures. So you sack a creature, draw cards equal to its power, then discard 3 cards, which in turn could be 3 more creatures, feeding your commander. This is a Japanese foil Natural Order. Really good card. This is from Strixhaven, the Mystical Archives. One of 2 Japanese foil Mystical Archives that actual foil Japanese Mystical Archives. I've got some etched foils as well. But that I actually run in any of my commander decks. The other ones are all in Tiny Bones, which you will see in a couple weeks. This is sorcery speed, 2 green and 2. Sacrifice a green creature. Search your library for a green creature. Put it into play. Quick and to the point. Of course, if you're playing multicolor commander, you need a command tower. Victimize. Sorcery speed. Black and 2. Choose target creature card in your yard. Sacrifice a creature. 2 creature cards in your yard. Sacrifice a creature. If you do, return those cards to the battlefield tapped. Easy. Yosai, the Morning Star. When he's put into the graveyard from play, target player skips his or her next untap step. Tap up to 5 target permanents that player controls. Very easy to do, especially if you're reanimating and sacrificing all the time. It locks out your control player, essentially, which is great. Fabled Passage. Sacrifice, search for a basic, put it into play, tap, then shuffle. Karmic Guide, another one of our combo pieces. Flying, protection from black with Echo. You have to pay the Echo cost on your next upkeep, or you have to sacrifice him. When it enters the battlefield, return any creature from your graveyard to the battlefield. 2/2 flyer. Since we are in multicolor, here's our one of our Shocklands. Godless Shrine. Shock to put it in play untapped. And if you look, it is a foil. Murmuring Bosk. Counts as a forest, so anything that searches for a forest will search for it. It enters tapped unless you reveal a tree folk from your hand. Big deal. I'm not worried about it. It also allows you to get white or black mana by taking a point. Big deal, you know. You're trying to combo out as fast as possible. So you need the mana fixing as quick as possible. This is one of our new cards from Crimson Vow that I have yet to play with. This is old Rut Stein. When he enters the battlefield or at the beginning of your upkeep, you put the top card of your library into your graveyard. You mill. If a land is milled, you get a treasure token. If a creature is milled, you get a insect token. If a non-creature card is milled, you get a blood token, which lets you draw cards. So essentially, you always get value out of it. Brainstone. This may or may not stay in, I don't know yet. 1-drop artifact, pay 2, sacrifice it, draw 3 cards, put 2 on top of your library in any order. And then if you're doing the mill and everything else, it lets you feed your creatures to your graveyard. Real good card. Solemn Simulacrum. When he enters the battlefield, search your library for a basic, put that into play, tapped, then shuffle. When he dies, you draw a card. Just a value creature. Now, this card is one of the 2 cards in the deck that I'm going to get hated on for. I already know this. It's a cheap, essentially a bulk rare. I have it in edged foil, as you can see. It is Timeless Dragon. It has flying, plane cycling, and eternalize. I'm never going to use the eternalize mechanic with this because I'm trying to reanimate. But early game, I can tap to discard it to search my library for a planes, reveal it, put it in my hand. Plane cycling. Then mid to late game, I reanimate it, and it's a 5/5 flyer. It also feeds my commander, which lowers his cost. Then we have Null Brooch. Good card. Very undervalued card when you're talking Reanimator. Pay 2, tap, discard your hand, counter target non-creature spell. Basically, you pitch all your creatures to counter non-creatures. Say somebody's trying to put a static orb into play, a winter orb, something that's going to hurt you in the long run. You're discarding all your creatures anyways, which is lowering your commander cost. Really good value card. Yavimaya, Cradle of Growth. All lands are forest in addition to their regular types. Just good mana fixing. Vesuva comes into play as a copy of any land. Marsh Flats. This is a fetch land. Search for any plains or swamp and put it on the battlefield, then shuffle. That is if you tap, pay a life, and sacrifice Marsh Flats. Verdant Catacombs. This is an edged foil. The same thing as Marsh Flats, only for forests and swamps. Necro Blossom Snarl. This is one of our mana fixing lands. It may or may not make the cut. It enters the battlefield. You may reveal a swamp or forest from your hand. If you don't, it enters tapped. Tap, add a black or a green. Puppeteer Click. I thought I needed to actually grab this. I told a friend of mine earlier today I thought I needed one of these. I actually have it. So that's fine. When it enters, you put a creature card from an opponent's yard into play under your control. It has a haste at the end of your turn. Remove it from the game. persist. If it enters with no neg 1 counters on it, if it dies with no neg 1 counters on it, it comes back with a neg 1 counter. Verdant Mastery, another card that I haven't played with yet. So it's an 6-drop or a 4-drop. If you paid the full amount, search your library for up to 4 basics, reveal them, put one of them onto the battlefield tapped under an opponent's control. If only 4 was paid, put 2 of them into play tapped under your control and the rest into your hand. So it's okay. Shinedown Snarl. Again, another one of the Snarls, only this time it's swamp or plains. Harmonize. 2 green and 2. Sorcery. Draw 3 cards. Witherbloom Command. Choose 2. Target player mills, let's see, what does that say? 3 cards. And then you return a land card from your yard to your hand. Destroy target non-creature, non-land permanent with mana value 2 or less. Target creature gets neg 3, neg 1 until end of turn. Or target opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2. You get to choose 2 of those for 2. It is a sorcery, but it's actually really, really good. I actually really approve that card. Eternal Witness. What more do you want to say? Eternal Witness is a staple in Commander. When it enters, you may return target card from your graveyard to your hand. Eliminate. Destroy target creature or planeswalker with mana value 3 or less. Vanishing Verse. Exile target mono-colored permanent by Jace the Mind Sculptor. Vampiric Tutor. Search for a card, put it on top of your library. After you shuffle, you lose 2 life. It is instant speed. Great card. Silverquill Silencer. Enters the battlefield, choose a non-land card name. Whenever an opponent casts a spell with the chosen name, they lose 3 life and you draw a card. You name their commander. Easy. Culling Ritual. Destroy each non-land permanent with mana value 2 or less. Add a black or green for each permanent destroyed this way. Good card. Shadrix Silverquill. Flying double strike. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may choose any 2. Each mode must target a different player. Target player creates a 2/1 white and black inkling creature token with flying. Target player draws a card and loses 1 life. Target player puts a +1/+1 counter on each creature they control. Just good card. Putrefy. Destroy target artifact or creature. It cannot be regenerated. Easy. Mana Tithe. This is in a deck specifically because of somebody on Twitter. Hoth, Queen of Snow. She believes in this card. I like the card anyway. It's a counterspell in white. But this is a shout out to her. And if I ever see you at Gen Con, we're going to get this signed. Sedgemoor Witch. Menace. Ward. Pay 3 life. So they have to pay 3 life just to target it. Magecraft. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, create a 1/1 black-green pest creature token with, when this creature dies, you gain a life. Grim Tutor. Search your library for a card, put it in your hand, shuffle, lose 3. Swords to Plowshares. Exile target creature, its controller gains life equal to its power. Crossing Grip. Split second, destroy target artifact or enchantment. Damn. Destroy target creature. A creature destroyed this way cannot be regenerated. Overload. Destroy all creatures. Unmarked Grave. Search your library for a non-legendary card. Put that card in your graveyard, then shuffle. Persist. Return target non-legendary creature from your graveyard to the battlefield with a -1/-1 counter on it. Timeless Witness. Another Eternal Witness. Return a card from your graveyard to your hand. Grist. Now, this is a card that might or might not get some hate from the gaming community. I'm playing Reanimator, of course, with this. And in this specific deck archetype, this card is bonkers. If he's in the graveyard, he counts as a creature, which, of course, lowers Cardor's casting cost. Also, if he's in the graveyard, as he counts as a creature, I can reanimate him. Karmic Guide can bring him back. Revelark can bring him back to the battlefield. So, that is why he's in this deck. Solid 3-drop. Vindicate. Destroy target permanent. Profane Tutor. We love searching for our combo pieces. Like I said, Demonic Tutor. We love searching for our combo pieces. Soul Talisman. It's another Soul Ring. It does have Suspend, but it winds up being a Soul Ring. This is the card I know for a fact I'm going to get hated on. Everybody thinks this card's garbage. Everybody thought Lion's Eye Diamond was garbage when it first came out back in, I think it was Mirage Block. That was when I was first starting the game, and Lion's Eye Diamonds were a quarter. You couldn't get rid of them. But they changed the stack, and 6th edition rules changed the way you could play Lion's Eye Diamond, so it became a good card. I see this as a sleeper, especially in a Reanimator style deck. Again, it's a 2/2 for 2. So if you go turn 1 Soul Ring in him, you're automatically at turn 2. He's going to be able to activate, That's the only downfall of how he's played, is he doesn't have haste. However, the abilities on him actually outweighs everything else. Say you go Swamp, Soul Ring, Diamond Lion. Turn 2, you go Forest, sacrifice Diamond Lion, pitch the rest of your cards from your hand into your graveyard. You have three, maybe 4 creatures in your graveyard now. You say white for Diamond Lion. You have 3 white mana. You go, okay, so now I've got 4 creatures in the graveyard. Cardor is now a 4-drop, which is leaving me extra mana. I'll go Cardor and then replay Diamond Lion or something else that's in the graveyard. Just, it's a value creature, in my opinion. And right now they are way undervalued. They are worth every dime that they are right now, which I think is 20 cents. So, if you like Reanimator, this is actually a really good card. Of course, we have our Soul Ring. And the last card for this deck that I currently have is a Gaia's Will. Suspend until when it comes out of suspend. Until end of turn, you may play lands and cast spells from your graveyard. If a card would be put in your graveyard from anywhere this turn, exile it instead. So, back in the day, we had this card called Yawgmoth's Will. Very similar to this. However, with our deck the way it is now, what we're doing is we are trying to reanimate, trying to have more permanence that we actually play. So, with Gaia's Will, it actually makes sense to play it. I do have, as you saw in the Secret Layers, I do have a Shieldred and an Elvish Norn, which I know for a fact are going to be put in here. I also have the Vorinclex, which I don't know if I'm going to put in here. I don't know how oppressive I want this deck to be. Like I said, I've got a line with one of our friends to pick up a copy of this deck. If I do, I will do another video for this deck when I've got it built the way I want it, which will probably be, I'm thinking May-ish, when I have the time to sit down and sleeve it after testing it and everything, and let you guys know how I like what I have built. I had this built back in 2011. I really liked the deck. Like I said, it was my first Commander deck. So, I'm a huge fan of Reanimator. I was back in Tempest block when we had a Recurring Nightmare. I've always been a fan of Graveyard Strategies. So, anyway, we have been talking for about 33 minutes now. So I will cut this video here in a minute, and we will prepare for next week's video. With everything that's going on, I hope everybody's being safe and taking care of themselves. With all that being said, remember always, take care of yourselves. Take care of each other and be good to one another. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys in next week's video.